Hello,
Hello.
I'm James.
I'm Chels.
And today we're starting a new series called
Reading Reddit Relationships.
Very Self-Explanatory.
Yes.
We go on relationship subreddits and we read posts and we talk about it.
Talk about all things wrong or right with it.
Yes, I like that.
Yes.
All things wrong, right, the good, bad, and the
I'm
ugly.
gonna start with the wrong because typically if you're posting about your relationship on Reddit,
Yeah,
it's
that's
because
already-
things have gone wrong.
That's already a goalpost for wrong.
Or it's something super wholesome. So here we go.
Sometimes it's a little bit of both.
Sure. A combo. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, our first one here. I, 23-year-old female, guess I'm only good for sex, and no one will ever want a serious relationship with me.
Why'd you whisper sex?
Because I thought YouTube got upset at that word.
Oh, no, I'm sure that's fine. If it's not fine, then
I thought that was a bad YouTube word, and I didn't want to have to
That's
bleep
dumb.
it, so I thought if I went,
no. That one's fine. Right, YouTube?
sex, baby, let's talk about you and me. Okay, sorry. That's what my boyfriend, 27-year-old male. Oh, wow, this is pretty close. This is pretty close.
Not quite.
And
but
his best friend have been talking about on Discord. Ooh! We've been together for a year, and yes, it's only been a year, but I've invested myself in this. We even live together, but I guess I'm just his live-in buddy, as he called me in that conversation. Apparently, I'm too nice, and I'm not wifey material. Too nice? But yet, he's the one always saying he loves me and how he can't wait to have a family with me. I'm so over dating and people in general. How mean can people be? If you feel a certain way about someone, why lose their time and be fake? What's wrong with people? How are you even supposed to trust people? And I know I shouldn't have read his conversation. I already hate myself for even touching his computer. I was going to print something from it and got too nosy. That's what I get, I guess.
Wait. Before we proceed, the I'm too nice part, that doesn't even, I don't get it. You know what? I really like it when my spouse is a real bitch.
But wait, okay, I think it's a much deeper thing. I think this is just my perspective because I've seen this in action.
Okay.
I think that her boyfriend's best friend is jealous of their relationship, so he's purposely like trying to get the boyfriend to talk about all of his problems pretty much and demean his relationship because his friend like thrives off of that. Because I've seen people like that. I could totally see this being the problem. If she's too nice but yet not wifey material, like what? That doesn't make sense. I could totally see this dude's best friend just like thriving off of hearing this guy shit all over his girlfriend, pretty much. Could you not like see that? Because I could totally see that being the case. Like I've seen that in action.
I'm sure that happens. It's just demented.
Yeah. Update. I dumped him. He tried to tell me how he loves me, but doesn't want his best friend to know. What? Sorry. Well, I don't want to be talked about the way he did. I want to be with someone who's proud of his feelings for me. So, boy, bye. You know what? Good for her.
That was the right move.
I agree. That's was the right move. You know, even if it wasn't her boyfriend's exact feelings to be saying that, you shouldn't be talking about your relationship and disrespecting it that way. That's just not okay. That's
especially
really
to
messed
his
up.
best friend. They both sound like losers. Let's move on.
What?
Wife arrested. My wife was arrested for shoplifting. She claims it was not intentional, but through tears.
I deserve this because I do it all the time.
Wait, she deserves to steal?
No, she deserves to be arrested for shoplifting.
Oh, I was like...
She claims it's unintentional, but yet deserves it because she does it all the time.
I see. Okay, got
Maybe
it.
she's a kleptomaniac.
Jesus Christ, Marie. It's worth noting we are financially comfortable, and what she tried to steal was minimal in value. Wow, this really is Marie. Mm-hmm. Of course, we retained a lawyer, and she'll likely get off without a record because she has no other priors. It makes me so angry that she'd take a risk like that, which could impact our family, 2 young kids. We had spent the day biking and cooking out. Then when the kids went to bed, had to go to the store. Reality was we didn't need anything. It was a random trip at 11 p.m. To make things worse, the literal head of security for this chain is our neighbor who we've only known for 5 months. Now I'm embarrassed every time I walk outside.
This one hurts.
She's acting like nothing happened. I'm not sure what to do or how to address it. How do you even discuss it? It's obviously unacceptable. How do I trust her with anything? More context from comments. Okay, I see they added some stuff. They added a lot of stuff.
Perhaps a little more background. Things aren't exactly great. She lies a lot about mostly little things. She's quick to anger and very defensive. She's looking for a job, lied about a phone interview, and went into incredible details. I got her an interview at my company. She told me it was pushed to a different day. Then a coworker said, I heard you have a family emergency. Let me know if you need anything. She's been unemployed for over a year, and she turned into a completely unrecognizable person. Unless others are around, she'll turn on for them. She doesn't do anything unless it's a pressing need, and even then, it's got to be pressing to her. Her diet is horrendous, and it's led to serious weight gain, which leads to her always feeling unwell and tired. I've tried not to point this out without an opening, and then I'm very careful with how I broach it. At the end of the day, she has to want it. She even stopped shaving and said I shouldn't care, which maybe is right, but not something I knew I was getting into, and is just a layer in the cake. It's also telling. When I work out or eat healthy or even get dressed, I find myself wanting to make her proud as motivation. I don't know why there isn't even a little of that for her. Our kids are in school all day, and she fills the time mostly online, though you can't tell her that. She's become completely obsessed with a specific social movement, one I support wholeheartedly. However, she's used it to find purpose and taken it to the point of self-righteousness.
My favorite.
She's a moderator for the group and spends a considerable amount of time doing mod things. However, it comes at the expense of finding a job, being in the moment with her kids, and even spending time with me. The spending time with me part being the lesser of the impacts. After working all day, when the kids go down, I like to unwind with TV. We used to do it together, but now she either watches videos related to her movement or chats/comments on Facebook about it. She uses the excuse that she doesn't want to watch what I'm watching, but when I propose a change, she says, that's okay, I was going to take a bath anyway, or something similar. When I do get her to sit with me, it's painfully obvious she doesn't want to. If I mention her phone, game over.
Before she became so engrossed in social media, this is what we did together. We went to bed at the same time. Now she goes to bed at 9 p.m. just after the kids and lays there on her phone for an hour or two. The next day she struggles to get out of bed. I had been waiting for her to land a job, hoping that confidence boost would lead to improvements all around. She's in sales and she's really good at it, so there's a good feedback loop. I'm hoping it'll balance her focus so she's not all consumed by the movement. Give her some confidence to take pride in her appearance. Mentally engage her so she's not always so exhausted. I don't exactly know. I am just trying to give the benefit of the doubt. Similar to this incident, getting mad and or parenting her isn't going to help, speaking from experience, unfortunately. Yeah, if there's one thing that an adult cannot do for another adult, it's be their parent.
Yep.
Especially when you're their spouse.
And they're supposed to be a parent themselves.
That one's a doozy.
Well, there's a response because the very first thing I thought of was getting mental help. I got her all the information for counseling and therapy through our insurance. She called immediately and texted me, just finished up and set up sessions. You should call too. I think you'd get a lot out of it. Which would be a fine statement any other time, but really rubbed me the wrong way, like trivializing what prompted the phone call. She also took notes on her call with a lawyer because I asked her to. Her notes were all the positive things they said, like she was completely ignoring that there is still possible major downside, especially if the store has evidence of past incidents that haven't been disclosed yet. Oh, like if they have videographic evidence of her in there stealing things before, could be the nail in the coffin.
Ooh. Ooh. That's
At that point, honestly, I don't like ultimatums. I think they're immature.
In this case,
it seems kind of necessary.
Yeah.
She's doing nothing, and she's also become a bad influence to our children. Like,
Yeah.
that's not okay.
Here's a rule of thumb for you when you have 2 children. I mean, children in general shouldn't see you just stuck on your phone responding to Facebook comments all day.
Really not.
In general, you shouldn't do that, but especially if you're a parent. We should all strive to cut technology out of our lives as much as we reasonably can, unless it's actually for our own health benefit. Facebook, there is no medical reason I can think of that you would be on your phone on Facebook all the time.
In this instance, though, I really think the best idea is ultimatum. Either you seek help and you actually go to therapy and you can kind of see like if there's changes there, or like
Divorce.
I'm a 30-year-old female husband, who's a 30-year-old male, said I'm not very ladylike and offered to hire someone to teach me.
What? You need a ladylike instructor?
If you said that to me, we'd have problems.
You don't say. You
need
don't say that.
I think you need an instructor to teach you how to properly be manly.
Right.
Married for 6 years, dated for 2. Back when things were normal, my husband was away from home often. Usually, when he would be home, I would dress up a lot and put in a lot of effort for him. This year, he has been home for the longest stretch of time in our marriage. At first, I was putting in a lot of effort, but then staying home constantly made me feel depressed, and I started going back to normal and wearing more comfortable clothing and no makeup. Yeah, it was a pandemic. We all did. That's reasonable. I didn't realize my husband had such an issue, but yesterday he randomly said I wasn't very ladylike at all. And after I got upset, he graciously offered to hire someone to teach me how to be. Today, he tried to say he didn't mean it as an insult, and it didn't mean he didn't think I was beautiful, but it damn sure felt like one. I don't know if this is even relevant, but my husband always looks put together, and he's maintained that even in the pandemic. I did make a dramatic change to my wardrobe when we got married, for him, so I think that's why I feel extra offended/sensitive right now. I told my friends what he said, and she told me to accept the offer and then force him to buy me all new clothes, but I really don't want to. Does anyone have any better suggestions? TLDR, husband said I wasn't very ladylike at all and offered to hire someone to teach me how to be after I got upset. Like, if I could not wear makeup every day, I would.
That's what,
what
she should have said back to him is, hey, you know what? While we're at it, you're not very man-like. Maybe we should hire somebody to teach you to stop being a beta.
I've never seen you chop wood.
Maybe we should hire somebody to teach you how to hunt and not be a baby back bitch. I mean, this is so self-explanatory, right?
This guy's just an asshole. Like, what? Because you don't wear makeup and you wear, like, pajamas or sweats during a pandemic where you're not leaving your house for weeks at a time. He's upset?
Ladylike implies not necessarily
like
just
she's
appearance.
Walking around belching and farting everywhere.
And she's got, like, pit stains and is cursing like a sailor, I guess. I don't...
Food in the hair. Everywhere.
Yeah, like food in your hair, and you're just like dirty. I guess there's this husband is falsely equivocating being ladylike with being like done up. You know what? He sounds like a real winner, so I'm sure he'll bounce back after she leaves him.
Find a real lady.
What does ladylike even mean? Does he want you to wear lipstick and have your nails painted and be all dressed up when you're just at home hanging out with nowhere to go? What the hell? How have you been together for 8 years? You're telling me that for more than 7 years before the pandemic, you had never been a little more disheveled and not put together around him? He sounds like an asshole.
Ooh, before we got married, I was almost always disheveled. It was like my constant state, but he seemed to like it then. Ooh, this guy's rude. Oh my lord. The more I hear, the more I hate.
Maybe he's got brain problems.
A blowjob isn't very ladylike either. You want me to stop doing those?
It's a good comeback, too.
That would be a good comeback.
All right. That's enough of that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty short one. I, male 26, just found out my wife, female 24, cheated at a party I begged her not to go to, but I trusted her decision-making at what to do. I'm still shaking from the adrenaline in my veins. Oh, and she can see what I post, but I don't care at this point. So as said above, the party was almost a week ago. I knew something was wrong, especially when the guy who did the deed sent $30 with a kissy face on it.
Like, you paid her for it? Is that the insinuation?
I guess. Sorry, this post is bad, and I might be a bad person, but I need serious help, even if it's from Reddit strangers.
I'm gonna give you all the help you need here, person. Divorce!
It's over.
It's done.
It's gone. It's dead. It's dust. It's a fart in the
If
wind.
you don't have an open relationship and you've never discussed sleeping around, they're gonna do it again. They always do it again. They don't change.
The rest of the internet agrees. You divorce and
they
move on with
responded
your
right
life.
there. Original poster.
Oh, here we go. Well, now we know why someone didn't want you to go along with her for her DMV stuff a few months ago.
Oh, there was more to it.
No, this person made another post, probably, where they were complaining about their wife not wanting them to come along to the DMV.
This isn't a one-time thing, bud, and you know it.
And then they responded with, I wouldn't be surprised anymore.
That's
well,
so sad. Like, I know that's painful to hear, but you just gotta let them go.
I hope they're on a better
Young and
path
dumb.
now.
Hope they're good and divorced now.
Separated at a
Takes
minimum.
a little while. I, a 29-year-old male, caught my wife, a 29-year-old female, red-handed in a hotel with another guy, a 25-year-old male. Sadly, I'm confused about what I should do. Any advice? I don't need to read the backup. I don't need to read the story. It's the same answer as the last one. Divorce.
Divorce.
If they're a cheater, you say goodbye.
But let's find out more details anyway, because that's fun.
Last night, a friend saw my wife in a hotel when she was supposed to be out of town for a funeral. Oh my god, that's even worse. I went and saw her car and the car of the guy she's been friends with for the last few months. I texted her and told her I knew she was there. She came down to lobby in gym clothes and promised me this wasn't what it looked like. I didn't know what to say. She said to go home and she would meet me there. I did, and she didn't show up until 2 hours later. I didn't know what to say, so I went into our spare bedroom and locked the door. Every hour or so she knocks and asks me to talk. I haven't responded, so I guess this is ongoing. It's Saturday, so I can't go contact a lawyer, but what can I do? What should I do? The top comment
She finished.
right underneath is exactly what he should have said. So she says, I promise you it isn't what it looks like. He should have been like, okay, I'll bite. What is it then? Why are you checked into a hotel with your guy friend when you're supposed to be out of town for a funeral? I'd really want to hear her response. What is she gonna say? What lie is she gonna try to come up with to manipulate that situation? Like, what a dumb bitch.
I was on my way to the funeral, and then somebody else died, so now I'm here. And
they died at this hotel.
They died at this hotel.
I ran all the way from the airport to the hotel, so I'm in my workout clothes, and then my guy friend just so happened to be here, and then I slipped and fell onto his dick.
Repulsed by my boyfriend. I, female 18, and my boyfriend, male 19, have been together for about 4 years. We've never experienced any problems in our relationship up until this year. Over our 4 years together, he's never ever made me, I kind of just put up with sex. It feels like a task, but it makes him feel good, and I love him. Lately, it's become unbearable, though. I am completely repulsed by the idea of having any sort of intense intimacy with him. As a disclaimer, I am not fat-phobic. I don't care what people look like or do. Not my business, not my life. My boyfriend has always been heavy, and at first I didn't mind, but now I feel physically ill by the idea of his gut rubbing up against me during acts, to the point where I would rather be without sex for months and months at a time. It's become a big problem. I've tried persuading him to go to the gym with me and take care of himself, but he doesn't care. It kills me, and I feel terrible that I'm so repulsed, and I wish I wasn't. I feel like an awful person, but I also can't help that I have certain preferences that is not up to me to control. It's just the way things are. Can anyone please help me? I love my boyfriend, and he is so sweet, and I feel like a terrible person for harboring these thoughts and feelings regarding him. Please help me.
I think you should talk to him. I think you should tell him all this. Try to find a nice way, but you should definitely start with the fact that he's never even performed well. If he can't help you fix that problem where he's never successfully helped you help yourself, if you know what I mean, and if he can't really do anything about his weight gain, since that's a problem for you, then I think you'd need to break up with him.
You have your
But
whole life ahead of you.
you
You gotta
really
live your life not repulsed
You
by your
really
significant other.
should not be in a relationship with somebody you find repulsive.
No.
That's just not, that ain't it.
If he does not respect himself enough to take care of himself, never mind not being able to please you, he has to be left on his own. He has to be on his own to even be able to find that respect for himself, I think.
If you feel physically ill by the idea of his gut rubbing up against yours during acts, maybe get on top. Giddy up, cowgirl.
I guess that is a band-aid that you could try.
Little one.
I say just get out.
We're engaged, but I don't want to marry him. He's a good guy, but I'm not in love with him. As the title says, we've been together 7 years. I tried to break up at a 5-year mark, but he convinced me to stay. A couple months later, he proposed, and I said yes. I still don't know why I said yes. I can't marry him. I'm miserable, and it's gonna make him miserable. He's a good guy, and he doesn't deserve it. Can someone please help me? I don't know what to do. You're dumb. You're dumb. What do you mean you don't know what to do? You're dumb. I'm sorry, that's really harsh, but it's over. You're done. You're done and you're dumb. Get smart. Move on.
The choice is clear.
There's the door.
Do not allow this relationship to hold you hostage. Even if they are a great person, they might not deserve to have their heart broken, but you know what? They don't deserve even more or less is to be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't want to be in a relationship with them.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
And
That's
you
horrible.
don't deserve
That's
to
like
be
a
in a
big
relationship with somebody that you don't want to be in a relationship with.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for a really crappy life. You only have one of those. We only get one life.
Yeah.
This
Why
isn't
are
a
you
video
wasting
game.
it? You've
You're not
got
going to get to try
7
again.
years.
You're not going to have the opportunity to try again later with somebody else or with some other
Do
relationship.
you want to keep wasting time here? Or do you
Just-
want to move on?
Just
Okay.
don't do it.
Move on.
I hope
Let
they didn't do
him
it.
move on, please. It's been 4 days since you've posted this. Oh, come on. Okay, that's how I feel. That's how I feel reading your post. Leave. I'm sorry. Was that too harsh? Should I be nicer? I feel like most of the time I've been nice. This one just irritates me. I'm like, if you're in a relationship and you want out,
It's over.
you just
leave.
You leave. I was on the receiving end of this. Almost identical timelines, just 8 years, not 7. My fiance broke it off in November 2020 after saying yes to engagement in July 2020. All I can say is, whilst awful, painful, and not a good experience, 7 months on, I understand it had to happen. To think we could have ended up married with what is now even more an apparent lack of necessary love. We now talk occasionally, however I have started dating again, and we both realize it was for the best for both of us. You have to tell him, and the sooner, the better. We even had a break after 5 years. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, this person is exactly right. It's gonna hurt no matter how much you didn't want to be in that relationship at the time. But if you're not feeling any romantic feelings, you don't want to be with that person at all whatsoever, just leave.
Life is
Go.
pain.
This is how people cheat, and then it ends up being even worse for their partner.
You will be stronger and better in your next relationship for having had to make a choice so difficult. I mean, the decision is hard to make, but the act of doing it is easy.
Just let him go.
And that's it. We hope you enjoyed the first edition of Reading Reddit Relationships. If you did enjoy, be sure to check out some of our other stuff and subscribe or whatever the is now. Follow.
Become a member.
Buy a membership.
You want to join the Coomer cult, don't you? Don't you?
I bet you do.
Hopefully, y'all like my advice and I wasn't too harsh with some people, telling them to break up.
I don't care whether you liked my advice.
This is why we have such a high divorce rate, because y'all get married. Y'all end up getting married. You're this unhappy. Anyway. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below.
See you next time. Mighty says, leave.
Leave!
Leave.
Well, you can leave.